between Derek and Tyson is for the WBO, elimination for the WBO Heavyweight Championship, World, European, vacant British titles. Self-explanatory. The winner of that fight hopefully fights Klitschko this year. The undercard is a quality undercard. We've got the vacant middleweight championship in Europe, and we're hoping that will be a final eliminator as well for the WBO title between Billy Joe Saunders, who's undefeated, sits to my right, 19-0, the British and Commonwealth champion, against Emmanuel Blandamura from Rome, Italy, former EU champion, who's 22-0. So two undefeated fighters there. Again, a quality fight, and the winner of that will fight Quinlan hopefully sometime this year for the WBO world title. So everything to go for there for Bill, and we all know that Blandamura is not a bad fighter, so it's a tough fight for him, but one that I believe that he can win and take him on to the next stage of his career. Also on the undercard, we've got the light middleweight championship of Great Britain between Liam Smith, who's the British champion, against Navid Masuri from Rotherham, England. And we also have the British and Commonwealth Super Featherweight Championship, Liam Walsh versus Gary Sykes, again a cracking contest, and one that I'm certainly looking forward to. We also got on the card the vacant Central Area Light Welterweight Championship between Jake Catterall, 8-0, against Nathan Bruff, who's 11-0. It's a great fight up there in the north, real competitive fight, and again, I'm sure the fans will enjoy it. We've got Ronnie Heffron on the bill. He's in a 10-round light middleweight contest against Liam Williams. Again, that is a 50-50 fight. And then on the card, we've got Chris Eubank Jr. against opponent to be named, and Eddie Chambers, who's based himself here in England, and in another heavyweight title fight. Anyway, we've got Bill here. Bill's had a few problems with injuries of recent. It takes a while to get back in the ring, but he's worked very hard now, and hand is all okay. And as I say, we're going now to the next stage of his development. I do believe that if he comes through this fight, I think that he has to beat him the WBO champion. So that's what the little carrot on the end of the stick is there for him to come through and do. I'm sure you've got questions to ask, so if you want to ask them, please feel free to do so.
Billy, the next fight is always the most important one, but this really is the case for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, if I win this, it's my dream. I can make the dream come true. I can't train any harder than what I'm doing. I've got a dietitian in, and things are moving good. And it's just onwards and upwards from there. I mean, he's a good fighter, this Italian, but at the end of the day, if I can't beat him, I'm not going to be world champion, am I? So I'm here to beat him, and that's 100% what I'm going to do.
How much do you know about him? Have you studied him on tape?
I know he's boxed once outside of Italy, and that was in Germany. He got a win out there. I see it. He boxed well. He done well. Dug in deep, but digging in deep ain't going to be good enough when he gets in the ring with me.
You're frustrated over the last 12 months. It's gone for you, what with injuries and probably not getting out as much as you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's work, isn't it? And I'm used to in the gym training, active, fighting, and when you've got injury, you've got a cast on your hand, and you're restricted from doing things that you love doing. And it's all right, it gets you down sometimes, but you've got to get on with it. Try to get it repaired the best you can, and crack on with it. Life goes on, but I'm here today.
The last time we saw you, you were about to start hitting the bag, and I think maybe start sparring. Have you done that yet?
Yeah, I've been doing plenty of pad work and bags, punching to a full extent with it. So that's all I'm waiting for now, is just a bit of sparring that starts next week, and hopefully, all so far it's all good. It's all good. I mean, I've been punching, not holding back on the pads and bags, and it's a lot better. It's probably really thanks to the doctor who done it. I think he's fixed it.
Was the first session fundamentally tough to actually just start doing it?
Yeah, I mean, when you first got the glove, and you always got that in your head that you don't want to, nag it and reoccur another injury, but thank God I've been taking nice and slow. Jimmy's eased in with it, and I'm back fit punching again.
How do you feel now that you've had dietary advice as part of your training as well?
It's helped me a lot, to be honest, because I think that well, it is. I mean, 70% is your diet, and I've got a real good dietitian now, and he's really. To be honest with you, I'm eating more than what I did, but it's all fresher and cleaner, and at certain times and that, and it's really helping me a lot.
Is that been an eye-opener? Does it make you look back on
Well, it is. I mean, listen, if everybody was struggling to make weight in the boxing game and there was all not eating and not drinking, we'll all be on a level playing field, wouldn't we? But everyone now's got dietitians and that, so if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. And I think you're going to see a lot different Billy Joe Saunders this year.
And also, you know, you've got Tyson and Bill, they're both travellers. There's a little race there, who's going to win or fight for the world title at the term. So it's a little bit of competition going on there.
I was speaking to him the other day, matter of fact, about it. We was having a little bit of a joke about it. But, you know, it is. We are on for it, who can get it first, you know, because, you know, like I say, if I win it today and he wins it tomorrow, I'm still going to be the first traveller to win a world title. And, you know, we was having a little bit of banter about it the other day and that, but, you know, it's good if we can both get on and do it. I think that, you know, who knows, maybe if we both come for a fight, so we never know, we might be on the same show fighting for it, you know, on the same night. It'd be good, wouldn't it?
Who do you think wins that against Derek?
Sorry?
Who do you think will win it against Derek?
Listen, it's an interesting fight, isn't it? Because, you know, when they boxed last, Derek wasn't at his best. And he come in, what did he come in, 18 stone, I think, something like that. I mean, you know, that's not Derek. Now he's lost weight, he's more inside, he's explosive. And I think that's the reason why the fight's selling so well, because, you know, Tyson's a character, as we know, but, you know, if there's anyone to beat Tyson, Derek, you know, could do it. But you've got to go with the favourite, and I think Tyson's pretty good at his job. He's nice and, you know, he's big, he's got the reach advantage and that, so it's going to be an interesting fight, though, I know that. Tyson has to come in on his A game.
What will it do to travellers boxing to actually have a world champion?
It's not what it do to just only travellers, everybody. I mean, but you know, from our background, you get a lot of good fighters was, you know, just about on the brink of doing something good, and then, you know, they get married at 17 and 16, and they leave the game, and, you know, they go out to work, you know, and they go out to work, and, you know, they're abroad and they haven't got time to train. But, you know, thank God, you know, I've had my dad and I'm stuck with it, and, you know, I'm getting my rewards now.
Do you think being from a traveller society makes it harder to be successful?
No, I think, you know, whatever race or whatever you are, it's just, you know, we're all human beings, aren't we? You know, it all depends how hard you want to work. If you want to work hard and get it, you can get it. You know, we're all on the, like I say, we're all on the same playing field.
I have to mention the E word. Where does Eubank fit into all of this, and how far down the line?
Well, he's supposed to be here this morning, and they're here, or they're on their way, or we've just had a bit of trouble trying to get through to him just now, so I don't know what's going on. Where does he fit into it? He fits into, I suppose, you know, Bill's obviously well ahead of him as far as winning the British Commonwealth, and hopefully he wins this one. But down the road, that's a big fight. I know there's no love lost. What's that thing you said the other day? Something you get flogged with chains.
Yeah. Listen, he is what he is, isn't he? He's just, we're different. We're made of different stuff. He's just, I don't rate him personally. No disrespect. I don't ever run any fighters down because I know what it takes to get in the ring. But people compare him with me. He's a joke. Like walking about the ring and not moving from one spot. I'd smash him to pieces. Honestly, really would.
Do you think it's slightly distasteful the way that he acts in the ring?
Listen, it worked for his dad, and his dad trying to put the label on him. But his dad was a 10 times better fighter than him. You know, at 15 fights, he's still fighting bums out of a pub. I could walk to a pub, pull someone out, and, you know, give him a better fight than him. I really honestly could. But, you know, it is what if he wants to pad his record, and, you know, until he meets someone half decent and gets laid on the canvas out cold, it's down to himself, isn't it?
Frank, given what we saw at Wembley and what can be generated between British fighters, and it's sitting on maybe the next great one.
Yeah, I just think, you know, British boxing's on such a high. It was a fabulous night at Wembley. You know, it's great for British boxing. It's great for boxing beyond the back pages of newspapers. And all those guys like the Patrick Collins of this world who keep telling us that it's a dying sport. It's not. There's an audience out there. They want to see big fights. And, you know, that was a testament to that on Saturday. But there's, you know, we've had big crowds out for fights over the years, and they will come out for a big, you know, for the right type of contest. And what we're all trying to do is to put together meaningful matches that you know, that are, as far as the public are concerned, are 50-50 fights. Bill's fight is a 50-50 fight. You know, Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora is a 50-50 fight. And other ones on the card. And for that, you expect fans to turn out for them. So, yeah, it's great. I mean, I thought Saturday was great for the game. Yeah, it wasn't the fight wasn't the same as the last fight. It was nowhere near like the first fight, but explosive ending. But the fans were turned out for it, and that to me shows you that, you know, the fans want to see the sport.
On Box Nation, do you have any say in how he's moved along and coach?
Well, I mean, it's you know, his dad's obviously his dad's a very significant part of his career, and at the end of the day, you know, he had 15 fights now. I'm sure he'll be stepping up, you know, fighting in 10 rounders and so forth soon. You know, he'll have to do that.
Well, he's obviously miles behind. He's obviously miles behind Billy.
Well, you know, Bill, as I say, Bill's got the British and Commonwealth title. He's won them. He's defended. Bill would be further on if it weren't for the injuries now. You know, Bill would be, you know, he may have even already fought for the world title. He might be sitting here as world champion. But over the years, it's been unfortunate for him. He had a couple of operations on his hand. He's been out. I bet he's lost at least a year and a half of his career. And despite that, he is where he is. So, you know, it tells you the type of fighter that Bill is and the type of fighter he can be.
So do you think this is something that this is going to simmer, and do you think you need a
Well, you know, do you know what fights can happen out of nothing. We've seen that happen. You know, George Groves and Carl Frock happened again because of George Groves, because George Groves forced the issue. George Groves went to the IBF. He petitioned them for a rematch. If he hadn't have done that, I don't think Carl Frock would have fought it. Well, he said he would. So anything can happen. You know, that little spark causes a fight that suddenly captures the public imagination, and away you go. And I think that it's a natural fight. It is a natural fight. You hear what Bill said. I know that things have been said from the Eubanks camp. Down the road, and hopefully not too far down the road, that's a big fight. And I'm sure Bill's not worried about it.
Frank, you hope to cash in on maybe the casual fan that actually went to Wembley and now might look for another card to go and see?
Well, of course, that's what we want to do. You know, you've got a hardcore of fans who go to certain events, and obviously our event is not in London, it's in Manchester. Of course you want to get those other fans involved and keep them in. You've got a lot of circumstances as well. You know, there was no Premier League on Saturday. You know, that was all those things happened to it. There was a good build up to it. I'm hoping we'll get the same thing, you know, for our show up in Manchester, and more, because out of these fights, as I say, if our guys win, if the Brits win, well, certainly a Brit will win out Chisora, or a Brit and an Irishman out Chisora and Fury. But whoever the winners are of these fights, that fight is going on to fight for the world title. They're going to fight for the world title. So that can only be great for the game. And you're going to have a live opponent going in with Klitschko. You know, no one can say that's not going to be the case. The winner of Chisora and Fury make a viable opponent for Klitschko. And let's get it right, Klitschko's not fought a viable opponent for God knows how long. Pulev was supposed to fight Derek Chisora and pulled out the fight, wouldn't fight him, pulled out the first bit.
You mentioned that Billy's fight and Chisora and Fury's fight was a 50-50 fight. What do you believe is going to tip the scale? What's going to make the difference to result in the winner?
Well, on the night?
Yes.
The man who wants it the most. The desire and the want to win. You know, they both... Tyson Fury is a proud man. Derek Chisora certainly is a proud man. And Derek Chisora has turned his life around as far as boxing is concerned in all aspects of it. Maturity, his dietary requirements, how he trains, all that's been changed around. And for me, he's a different person. And, you know, whatever the result is, that's a success story. Boxing, he's managed to be able to do that. Tyson Fury is a guy that's as proud as anything. He does what he thinks he's the best man on the planet. So has all the ingredients of a tremendous fight.
So this will really kind of catch the imagination now that boxing grows down.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when we made the fight, it's a good heavyweight fight. You know, whatever weight, that is a better heavyweight fight than I can think of anything else that's on at the moment. I mean, you know, or maybe the Stavern fight a few weeks ago was a cracker. That was a good fight. There's no doubt about it. They had a tremendous battle. But this, for me, is the best heavyweight fight out there. I mean, you know, I'd much rather be watching this than watching Klitschko fight someone. And I think a fight fan would. You know that these guys, they don't have to fight each other. They could have stayed apart. They could have both bided their time to get into the number one slot. What they're doing, they're short-circuiting this. Let's get to number one. If I'm in the number one position, I'm mandatory contender. I haven't got to give options away. I will fight Klitschko. He can't duck me. If he ducks me, just keeps fighting bums, then obviously the fans will see that he's not for real anymore. And he has to fight one of these. And I think that the business will call for that.
What do you think of
Yeah, he's a good fighter. You know, he's proved that he's world champion. But out with Golovkin, Sergio Martinez, you know, and the other world champions, you know, apart from Felix Sturm, he's there to be beaten. I mean, he's strong, good puncher, but he can definitely be outboxed and outfoxed. And you know, I think I would love the opportunity. That's the reason why I'm sitting at this table today. You know.
Actually, Frank, and to both of you, actually, the result of the weekend between Sturm and Solomon, does that slightly change your options?
Well, you know, it's nice to have options, whatever way you do. Again, what we're trying to do is force the issue. Quinlan is a good fighter. He's got power in his punches. He can bang. I think Bill's got better boxing abilities than him, and I think that Bill, once he gets himself absolutely right, I think you'll see he'll start stopping people. So for me, that's the direction I'd like to go with him. I think that's a good fight for him, and I want to get the fight here. We'll do our best, and we're having an to get it here.
Billy, you fighting before, aren't you?
Yeah, I boxed Matt Scriven there a few years back. Now, his second pro fight.
You're not about it. Are you hoping to get the sort of Mancunian fans on your side and show them smile on the night?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of fans, to be honest with you. I've got a lot of fans from Manchester. I mean, a lot of mates of mine are Tyson's mates as well. So, you know, his support will be my support there as well. But, yeah, it's a good place to box. I mean, I've never boxed at this arena. So, you know, it'd be a bit new, but I've heard it's an unbelievable arena. So it'd be a very good night of boxing. I think there'll be a lot of Manchester fans coming out that night. Mostly all Manchester fans, I believe.
Billy, you've come back from your injuries, you changed your diet. How have you mentally prepared? Or how are you mentally preparing for the fight?
I think this, you know, setting down and when like eating more and drinking more, the clean stuff, you're thinking, well, I'm losing weight, but I'm eating and drinking more. I think that's mentally pulled me on again. You know, I think that's going to make me more stronger into the later rounds and that. And you know, when I used to make weight, I used to do it my way, where I done it for the England camp and that. You know, I used to eat right and do good, but it was not the right way. This is the right way I'm doing it now, and I need this to move on to the next level of my career. And that alone will give me confidence and a big boost.
And it's not just about just eating right for the fight. You've got to eat right all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's the in-betweens the worry. You suddenly pile on the pounds, and you're not training for the fight. You're training to lose the weight. And, you know, Bill looks in good shape now. He's got about 8 weeks to go. Was it 7 weeks to go? So he's got plenty of time to get himself down nicely, be strong at the weight, which is really important. And more importantly about this is, you know, if you're not carrying, for want of a better word, crap in your body, you're carrying, you know, you're eating the right foods and so forth, the right diet. A lot of other things come with that. Speed comes with that. Your mind feels better. You don't, I mean, you know yourself, if you're a bit heavy, you don't feel so good, but if you get yourself right, your whole mental aspect, everything about you it brings you on another 20%. And I don't think Bill's actually got to that yet. You know, he won't like me saying this. His diet is what it is. He likes his fry-ups. I know that. He likes his junk food, and that's not a good combination. Same as what happened with Derek Chisora. You know, he was a biscuit-eating champion of the UK. He could have been the world champion biscuit eater, but he stopped all that now, and he's turned himself around.
I think it's good inspiration for me as well, as I see how Derek looked, you know, once he got a proper dietitian and that, and, you know, I thought, well, I might as well do the same, and, you know, you see all these top level fighters now, they've all got them, so I said it before, so it's good enough for them, it's definitely good enough for me.
So the France have gone completely then, have they?
They're gone now, yeah, they're gone, till after the fight, for a week, and they're back on the guard.
What's your post-fight treat?
Pardon?
What's your post-fight treat?
What, after? Probably a Nando's or something. I love Nando's.
Right, you worked with a few fighters now, Derek, Ricky has been, who enjoyed it. How's been the thing?
Well, I think they learned from it. You know, it was a funny thing. When Ricky was champion, and his lifestyle, we all know what his lifestyle was, and Ricky's a good bloke and all that, but we all know he liked to drink and he liked to stuff himself with things he shouldn't have been doing. A lot of fighters thought he could get away with that, and there was quite a few fighters up north. You know, like I remember Paul Smith was quite heavy, and a few other guys up there. They thought they could get away with that. They all look to a fighter, especially someone who's successful, and think that formula works, and if it works for him, it'll work for me. Well, it doesn't, and it didn't work for Ricky at the end, because Ricky could have been, you know, when he got into training, he really trained hard. There weren't a better guy in the gym than him. It was all the stuff in between. And it isn't the way, you know, footballers can't do it. You know, when Arsene Wenger came over to the UK, he changed all of the way footballers, their dietary requirements, their training methods, he changed all that. And we see now, not just footballers, but athletes. And that's what a boxer has to be. He has to, not just a boxer, he has to train and be an athlete.
So do you think what Ricky that you did for that period of generation of fighters is damage to those around him?
Does it what, damage?
What Ricky had did in terms of living that life, and you said other fighters followed him, do you actually think he damaged those around him?
Well, I'd say damage. What he did is you know, what he had a talent. He did have a talent. And you know, not everybody's got the same talent, so you can't get away with it. And for a while, you get away with it, but it comes to a certain level, and then you don't. And that's what happened. And other guys were not getting away with it at, you know, a lower level. I mean, it's not the way to be. If you've got a Rolls Royce, you're not going to fill it with diesel. You're going to put the best, what do they call it these days, petrol or green stuff, whatever it is you put in it, it's going to have the best fuel inside it, and that certainly is the same case as far as human beings concerned.
When do you expect to hear back from the WBO about status?
I'm quite sure that we'll be okay within the next couple of weeks. You know, we've made the application, we'll see what they say, but I'm quite confident Bill wins this year going to the #1 spot. I'm very confident that will happen. Are there any other questions? We're all done? Lovely. Thanks very much. Thanks for coming in.